for the first time this year are young people. So, what do they want? Who speaks to them? Because they're not politically sound, you know what I'm saying? Too much. It's all about likability. So he's right. It is about the margins. It is about knowing the voting demographics. Compare it to 2020, and that was COVID, to now it is two different election cycles. Two different election cycles. So you have to understand that.
Yeah, and they can't take for granted. Democrats can't take for granted that just because their parents voted for Democrats, or have historically voted for Democrats, or their grandmother doesn't want them to vote for anybody other than a Democrat, that's exactly what they're going to do. So that's exactly what targeting is. You're shooting at a target, but there has to be a reason as well, right? If you go and decide that you're going to blanket something and do it everywhere, then now that's fine, except if the people that you need to draw out are in this small, more focused group, then, and you have a way to target them directly, that's something that you're supposed to do. It'd be crazy. It would be like my friend here, Pete Aguilar, doing something for all of Los Angeles to reach this targeted audience in the Inland Empire. Your choices are you either do something super targeted or you go LA where people can't vote for you. So you have to be focused about what it is that you need to do. You understand you need to do. And data is everything. There is publicly available data that lets you know precisely who to target, where the votes are, how people voted for you before, who didn't, who did, why, etc. Take that information, process it, and now you can be targeted and focused about who you want and why, knowing precisely how many votes you need, where they're going to come from. That's going to give you a much better shot. And, there's no points for shooting while blindfolded, okay? Because you really could miss, and there's a better chance that you do miss, particularly when the blinds can come off and you have data that lets you know exactly where to shoot.
You know what? I love it when new food.
So, all right, let me pause it right there because I put this on the big screen, right? You probably can't see it, but right here, Roland Martin, he's in the chat during the show, and this is a live chat. He says, Jupiter is a dumbass. Roland will clap back. And that is because Jupiter, my subscriber and listener, said Roland and Boule Shells are tap dancing for biscuits by Democrats. And then Roland responds, Jupiter is a dumbass. So not only did Roland Martin respond to Jupiter in the chat, who he don't know, he's about to sit up here and call him and explain why he's calling him a dumbass.
Show themselves. There's some idiot in our chat, Jupiter 1000. Roland and Boule Shields are tap dancing for biscuits by Democrats. LOL. They love all your tap dancing. Okay, Jupiter, what are your issues? See, the reality is, when I'm looking at candidates, or I'm looking at elections, I look at issues. I go down the line. Why are all of these billionaires who were dogging Trump after January 6th, why, like Steve Schwarzman, Blackstone CEO, why are they now announcing, like BlackRock CEO, why are they now announcing they're going to be supporting Trump? Easy. Because the Trump tax cuts expire in 2025.
Duh.
Why are Silicon Valley multimillionaires and billionaires who have been supporting Democratic candidates now attending fundraisers for Trump? Easy. Because they saw how easy Trump can be bought off. Donald Trump railed against TikTok. And all of a sudden, a big donor last name Yaz started giving Donald Trump money. He also is funding RFK Jr. I'm sorry. He also has a major stake in TikTok. He wants to buy TikTok if the United States is successful in forcing the sale of TikTok.
So let's pause right there. What is wrong with what Roland Martin just said? Excuse me. Nothing. The problem is Roland Martin thinks that's the problem. If you are, oh my God, I can't get this thing. If you are a billionaire or a multimillionaire, you love Trump's tax credit. You did. I don't blame you. We all benefited. Now, under Biden, the billionaires and millionaires benefited off of COVID. See, one thing about the wealthy people and the rich people, they're going to make sure they eat no matter who's in office. So it's not about Democrat or Republican for them. It's not. They don't care. As long as they make money and it benefits them. Trump is going to give us tax cuts. Biden is going to create this pandemic, and we're going to profit off that via, federal grants, PPP loans, investing in farmer, all this other stuff. They're going to eat regardless who sits in the White House. So he's laying it out. Oh, Trump wanted to buy TikTok. Yes, he wanted to buy it away from China to control it, to have it be American control. Biden administration wants to ban it all straight out. So what's worse, and who has the worst plan? Trump, who wants to buy TikTok so it could be American owned, or Biden administration who wants to get rid of it? That means if you wipe out and ban TikTok here in America, content creators or people who are content creators on TikTok, they sell products. So it's not about making money from ads, because you don't. It's about selling your product. That's how a lot of people make a living. So you are actually taking income away from millions of American citizens if you ban TikTok. That's Biden. Trump wants to own it. You see the difference? See, Roland doesn't understand that because he is a Democrat shell.
Donald Trump completely changed his tune after Homeboy started giving his campaign money. Yep. Donald Trump went to Big Oil and said to them, give me $1 billion. I'm going to get rid of all of these regulations from President Joe Biden. Now, keep in mind, the United States has produced more oil than we ever have in American history. We are actually absolutely energy independent. Oh, I'm sorry, but they say we're not. That's why they're funding Trump. So, Jupiter, when you talk about, okay, what are the issues you care about? Where you at? Oh, he goes, my issues are illegals and inflation. Bet you won't talk about illegals in New York City or Chicago affecting the black community. Well, actually, we have, Jupiter, because you're an idiot. Because why is it affecting black folks in those cities? Because the red state governors sent them to those cities for fools like you to say these very things.
Let's stop right there.
That's a lie.
Nigga Roland, you have not talked about the illegal migrant crisis and how it's specifically harming black people in the black community in these blue cities such as New York and Chicago. No, you have not. What you have done, like you just said, you are blaming Republican governors out of Texas, Arizona, Florida for sending the illegals to the sanctuary states and sanctuary cities. The problem with illegals, and that is why a lot of black people are going to vote for Trump, because there are two main reasons why you want to see a shift, particularly with black men switching from blue to red. It ain't going to be by 50 or 40%, but it is going to be a little over 20% this election. It's because of illegal migrant crisis and the economy. Black men made more money, invested more money, and got more in their return under Trump. It was in reverse for black men under Biden. Illegal migrants are taking away resources. Illegal migrants are getting social services specifically for them, which takes away from American citizens. And if you zone into the Black communities, particularly in Chicago and New York City, that's already impoverished, that already needs social services or outside assistance to help in that community, they're not getting it because that money has been allocated to non-citizens who are breaking the law by crossing the border illegally. He mentioned Texas and how the state of Texas population has grown. And then he goes, what do you think that is? Roland Martin, you dumbass. Texas sits right at the border of Mexico, where everyone is coming through. That this Biden administration is allowing, this current administration is allowing over 15 million illegals since 2021 to come in this country illegally. Texas cannot hold all these illegals in their state, not without the federal government help. The federal government is not helping Texas sustain or prohibit the illegals. They are actually fighting Texas in the Supreme Court and in the federal courts to stand down and not arrest or obtain illegal migrants. So one state, two states cannot sit up here and house or round up illegals without federal support. Under Donald Trump, when he was president in 2016, he set up camps at the border. It was organized, but the Democrats wanted to paint it as it being some type of plantation or some type of concentration camps. No, he actually set up shelter. They had medical services. The only thing I did not like, they did separate the kids from the mothers or their parents. But a lot of those kids that were with adults that you think that they were their parents wasn't really their parents. But there was order at the border under Donald Trump. There's no order there. So Governor Abbott has no choice but to send them to sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. And guess what? You have Mayor Eric Adams, you have Mayor Brandon out of Chicago that are saying, hey, come on in. You have the mayor of Denver, come on in. And of course, California, the whole governor, come on in. You have the governor of Illinois saying, hey, we want to allocate $130 million just for the illegals, but never did one thing, not one stroke of policy, specifically for Black Americans in the city of Chicago. Because you always talk about the crime, you always talk about the homelessness and the drugs and all this. So why haven't the governor of Illinois allocated money for Black people in Chicago? But your only excuse is, oh, well, I have talked about the illegal migrant crisis, how it affect Black people because it was the governor of Texas that caused it because he shipped them there. Dumbass. The federal government is not helping him sustain the border. He's not helping them to maintain order at the border. So he has no choice but to send them out to the sanctuary states and cities.
That's what you somehow don't understand. See, Jupiter, here's why you also are pretty dumb at this. Why has Texas picked up additional seats in the House in the last 2 decades after the census? Because of population growth. Where did it come from, Jupiter? Do you see how clueless you are? Do you understand that you were played by people like Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis because their whole deal was, let's send these folks to Chicago and New York because we can sit here and get Black folks and get them hyped emotionally and pissed off by this? Oh, you didn't realize that, huh? Oh, but you also said, Jupiter, that you're bothered by inflation. That's interesting. Do you understand corporate profits? Do you understand how all of these companies in the last 3 years have announced record profits? I mean, I'm talking, when I say record, I mean like record profits. Oh, Jupiter.
Wait. It's so funny because, like, dude, he said, if you know what I mean record. You don't know the number. So that's why you're regurgitating the same statement over and over again. You don't know the numbers.
Have you ever wondered how did they get those record profits? Oh, high food prices. Oh, I wonder now what is causing inflation. High food prices. Because in 2020, 2021, when COVID hit, with supply chain issues coming out of, not necessarily coming out of COVID, but 2022, 2023, we begin to see the supply chain issue disappear. So why then did we still have the same issue with high prices? It wasn't because goods and services were higher. It wasn't because all of a sudden we're jacking up the price of wages. Oh, now I know what it is. It was those high prices. So now you understand it. Matter of fact, right here, let me pull this up. This is something from Robert Reich. You know who that is, Jupiter? Former labor secretary. He goes, memo to the media. Don't write about corporations suddenly lowering prices without mentioning how their profits have been skyrocketing or their tax bills have been shrinking. They could have kept prices lower all along. They chose not to. Give people the full picture. See, that's what fools like Jupiter don't want to accept. They don't want to accept.
Honey, I cannot believe this man called out Jupiter 1000 for 10 minutes. This started at 104 and it's going to end at 114.
Corporate greed. They don't want to accept how we have seen these individuals literally getting rich off the taxpayers, giving their CEOs massive bonuses for increasing profits. That's what has been causing inflation to stay sky high. Now, please, Jupiter, tell me how Republicans are going to lower inflation when they're the same people who voted against the Inflation Reduction Act. And guess what happened? After it passed, you begin to see inflation go down. Republicans continue to tell you that gas prices are sky high. Jupiter, did you not hear the testimony where the oil and gas folks were busted for colluding to keep prices high? Oh, I'm sorry, did you skip the part where Donald Trump literally said he reached out to the oil tycoons and said, hey, don't cut production, or don't actually cut production, that way you can drive prices higher? See what happens when you get exposed with facts? Yeah. Oh, by the way, when Congress passed a bill to stop price gouging, who voted against it? Meaning all of them? If I recall, Mustafa, I think it was Republicans who voted against the bill to stop price gouging. So it's a little hard, Jupiter, when folks like you suggest that, throw Biden out because they're not tackling inflation when they are. And the people who could have voted to lower inflation voted against the same Inflation Reduction Act. This ain't the 5, Jupiter. We deal in facts.
But it passed, dummy.
I'll be right back on Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Roland is crazy. Like, dude, like, no.
Inflation
You have it
Reduction Act
all
passed.
the way wrong. Actually, I don't want this view.
Dummy.
What is this view? Okay, I gotta say this is better. No, Roland. No. See, I actually pulled up that gouging bill, right? It says 4 Democrats who bucked party and voted against gas price gouging bill. The bill aims to ban the sale of fuel at excessive price during times that are considered an energy emergency, but it does not offer particulars on what that price threshold is. It also seeks to give Federal Trade Commission, FTC, the authority to pursue legal action if it discovers that pricing gouging is taking place. I wanted to scroll down a little bit more. Let me read something here. So Murphy, in a statement on Thursday, this was when this article was released a couple months ago, last year, said the price gouging bill takes the wrong approach, claiming that it could further reduce supply and worsen the current situation. At best, this bill is a distraction that won't actually address the problem. At worst, it can make the problem more severe. She also cited comments from Larry Summers, who served as Treasury Secretary during the Clinton administration. Summers said the bill would not reduce inflation, but could cause a contrive of all kinds of shortages. So it passed the House, but it damn sure didn't pass that Senate. Because of this very reason, it's not going to help. It's actually going to make things worse. So roly-poly, what are you talking about? Speaking of gas, right? OPEC. See, the gas issue did not start with Donald Trump. They love to throw Donald Trump name in everything. OPEC. I'm pretty sure you guys heard of OPEC. OPEC started under Bush and it continued under Obama. Now, Bush, Obama, and Joe Biden, they have personal investments in the oil industry in OPEC. Biden has not used his diplomatic powers to keep OPEC in check, which is why gas is so high, because Joe Biden, President Biden, personally benefits from OPEC, which is supposed to regulate the gas prices. So if gas prices go up because by the barrel or whatever, Joe Biden, Obama, Bush, and all these other elites make millions of dollars. He can regulate the gas prices via OPEC. He chooses not to because it personally benefit his pockets. Where did I get this from? I had to call the judge so I could have my data correct. See, Roland is not going to tell you that. Roland is not going to go into the details of OPEC. Roland's going to make it seem like all of these problems started under Trump and it got worse because of COVID, and now the Biden administration is trying to fix everything. No, they're not. They're actually making it worse. They have no real solutions. Every policy that they try to bring on the floor, whether it's passed or not, that's supposed to help the economy, they also throw in aid to Ukraine. Now it's aid to Israel. It's no real solution. So roly-poly is full of shit, basically. That's what I'm saying. He's full of it. He's a liar. Yes, corporate greed is real. Corporate greed is not going to go anywhere. Corporations are considered a person under the 14th Amendment. 14th or 15th Amendment. Or 13th or 14th Amendment, yeah. You're always going to have corporate greed. Stop acting like Trump invented it. No, he did not. But what Donald Trump did do, yes, he satisfied the billionaires. Yes, he satisfied the multimillionaires. But he also allowed all of us to eat. Going back to the black vote, because I'm about to swing into the Biden-Harris. Black men lost and continue to lose money under Biden. They started to see more money, more return on their investments, more profits under Trump. Whether you are black or white, it doesn't matter. If you are a man, what matters to you the most? Your damn money. Your money. That's the first thing. Your money. And if you make money under this man and you lost money under that man, who in the hell are you going to vote for? You're going to vote for the man that made you money. Because the man that's in office now that you probably did vote for over that one because you wanted to lead by race, you realize I'm losing money. So I need to have this man back in office so I can start making more money. Never mind what the billionaires are getting. Because they're going to eat regardless who sits in that White House. It's not about red or blue. And it shouldn't be for us either. And it shouldn't be about race either. It is about, am I employed? Am I making more money? Am I seeing a return on my investments? Are we getting control and a handle on this illegal migrant crisis? Taxes, tax benefits. So the things that matter to the average American, Trump delivered. But y'all wanted to go play over there on the blue side, thinking that it was going to be better. And it's not, because Biden only promises social services. They don't promise economic mobility. That is the difference between the two. Now, let me go out of this. And let me share this. Biden-Harris makes a rare joint campaign appearance to shore up black voters. Preparing for a new phase of the campaign as Donald Trump criminal trial nears the end, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris will make a rare joint campaign appearance Wednesday, which was today, to shore up critical constituencies in a critical state, which would be Pennsylvania. Black voters in Pennsylvania, their target today. The Biden campaign.
They forgot to bring the hot sauce and fried chicken. And they thought they was going to fill out a high school gymnasium without the chicken and without the hot sauce. What's up, 60 Gang? This is your boy Doug. Excuse the neck brace. I had a slight bruising of my neck. And so I put this on to allow my neck muscles to relax and the neck bruise to go down. So, good morning. I'm headed out to Locust Grove to look at the Samsung dryer. But anyway, like I said, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden tried to fool the black vote in Philadelphia. They couldn't even fill up a gymnasium, and they forgot to bring the fried chicken and the hot sauce. Now, back to Dana.
Has long argued that it sees black voters differently from how past Democrat campaigns have. A targeted voter group whose support is courted from start to finish rather than reliable turnout engine that just needs to be revved up in the fall. On Wednesday, it launched Black Voters for Biden at the end of the month that has been characterized some of the most sustained voter outreach of the campaign to date. Now, let me just say this. Oh, I'm getting hot. There's no website. So today they kicked off, what is this? What did I say? Black Voters for Biden Coalition. That kicked off today. And they're going to run different campaigns throughout the summer. Where's the website to let us know policies, your agenda for black voters? There's no website. Google it. You won't find it. I went to the whitehouse.gov. You won't see nothing there. Biden aides teased that Wednesday rally will be one of the largest of the campaign so far, as they aim for a show of force on the trail while a New York jury prepares to hand down a verdict in Trump's hush money trial. Biden, Harris, and Moore will also be joined by Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis, the first black man to hold that role, and the first black woman of Philadelphia, Cheryl Parker, and a Congressional Black Caucus Chair, Stephen Horsford, Democrat out of Nevada. Honey, I gotta turn this fan on. What's that? Honey, these flashes is real. Ooh, honey, yes. Ooh. I will be selling fans coming soon. But anyway, so they had all the black boule sellouts at this rally in Philadelphia, and I'm gonna play a couple of clips. Actually, let me go to it now. Yeah, here we go. Why is it with black people you always need a song and dance? Why? Why do you need a song and dance? They got these tight ass drums. They got Elmo in the background. I don't understand. Let me know if you guys can hear. Drumming on beat. They're not even drumming on beat. So this is the rally. And of course, you know, Kamala has to put on her black voice. And so
people testifying.
And she not even black. Got y'all food.
Can I get a... You want to see people testifying? Can I get a witness?
Girl. Yes, Hahina Harris, honey. Girl, can I get a witness? It's like, it's not even convincing. But y'all black people love it. Y'all love that church. Y'all love the little church antics. So Thomas said it's too early to say whether the initial concerns raise alarm for November, but he encouraged the Biden team to do more to get his message out. The Reverend Mark Taylor, the pastor of Philadelphia's Mother Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church, said he thinks that as the summer begins and people see more of Trump, Biden's standing will improve. Have you lost your damn mind? Biden, the more we see Trump, the more we are going to vote for this man. The more we see Trump tied up in court, the more we're going to vote for Trump. If Trump is put in handcuffs, we are still going to vote for Trump. He will be the first president elected sitting in the prison or sitting in the jail cell. So what is this reverend talking about? So you mean to tell me this black voter coalition that launched today You have a campaign agenda for the summer, and black people are going to compare Trump and Biden, and they're going to side with Biden. You have no website, you have no agenda, you have no policies to roll out that's going to cater specifically to black Americans. So why would we vote for you? What are we getting? They've been in office for 4 years. Not one policy for black Americans. Jewish people Congress just passed an anti-Semitism bill. They passed the anti-Asian Semitism, anti-Asian. They passed the Asian anti-hate bill. Even the Asians, India, that's all the Indians and stuff, all up in that. They have LGBT. They have over 50 policies, probably over 100 policies since the Biden administration walked in there in 2021. What policies, what executive orders have this administration issued or passed for black Americans? Nada. Nothing. It says here, black voters in particularly need to remember the Donald Trump of 2016 to 2020, the way that he conducted himself and the way of caring for our issues or ignoring our issues. That's bullshit. Donald Trump did not ignore black America. Black America ignored Donald Trump. Black America wanted to listen to the church, to the Congressional Black Caucus, to the NAACPs. Black America wanted to listen to George Floyd and the BLM bullshit. You didn't want to listen to Donald Trump. You saw your paycheck get more money, and this is before COVID, because the George Floyd shit happened in 2020. Matter of fact, you weren't complaining about Donald Trump until the CNNs and the MSNBCs and the Al Sharpton kept saying race, he's a racist, he's a racist. And I'm sorry, black people are psychologically damaged due to slavery, because the lineage or family passed down that mental victimization. Because you actually sit up here, and if somebody say, oh, he's a racist, you believe it, whether they prove it or not. So Donald Trump didn't ignore black Americans. We ignored Donald Trump. Kamala Harris said, am I going to create policies specifically for black Americans? No, she said no. But the policies that she will create will help all Americans. Well, if you can accept her and voted for her, because you voted for her, all the sister girl and sororities and blah, 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 blah. If you still supported her, what did Donald Trump do differently from what she said? Because the policies Donald Trump passed when he was president benefited all Americans, especially black Americans the most. Because now I'm going back to the economics. Now I'm going back to black men voters. Isaiah Thomas, a city council member who launched a local initiative known as Black Men Vote with fellow council members to encourage voting, said he has seen some resistance in the community as he targets younger black men. He said misinformation, and not just online, has been a particular challenge. No, it has not been misinformation. It has been accurate information. Now, going back to the roly-poly video that I was playing, remember in the beginning of that video, he said the margins matter. Yes, it does. The voters of 2020 are a different set of voters in 2024. Yes, it is. Because the young black men are voting. They can vote now, the 18-year-olds. Even the ones that are in their 20s that never voted before, they're going to vote now because they see Donald Trump. They can relate to Donald Trump. And that is going to be the deciding factor. The young people. I want to play another clip from today. This is Joe Biden.
Trump poses greater in his second term than his first. It's clear that when he lost in 2020, something literally snapped in his life. No, I'm serious. That's why January 6th happened, when he unleashed an insurrection. Now, he's running again, and is clearly unhinged. He calls insurrections who stormed the Capitol patriots. Patriots.
They were.
Re-elected, he wants to pardon, quote, every one of them.
They should. He should.
Let me ask you, what do you think he would have done on January 6th if black Americans had stormed it? Think about this. What do you think would have happened if black Americans had stormed the Capitol?
Is this man crazy? And this is what I mean, the pandering. What do you think would have happened if it was black Americans who stormed? Dumbass, you don't got to worry about that because black people don't do that. They're too chicken shit. I just explained the victim mentality, the psychologically damaged. But why would you say that? What do you think he would have did if it was black people? He wouldn't have did nothing. Because you know why? Not only, it's not so much black people would have been too scared, they wouldn't have a reason to if Donald Trump was president because they would be employed. They would be working. They would be seeing their investments, investing, gaining interest, and gaining capital. So it would be no reason to storm the Capitol. You idiot. Those people were storming the Capitol because the election was rigged. And this is a picture of saying that it wasn't even that crowded, which it probably wasn't. But I want to get back to the black voters, particularly the black men, because that is going to be a deciding factor. Young black voters and black men, when it comes to black people supporting, whether it's Biden or Trump. Majority of black women, they're still going to be supporting Biden. But it's the black men that's going to break away from the Democratic Party in droves. And they're going to take the young vote with them.
Really important. Thank you for the question. That's exactly what today is about. We have both the president and the vice president in Philadelphia directly engaging with black voters in a key city and a key swing state. And that is an effort that we are going to replicate in all of the battleground states today, tomorrow, through the weekend, and throughout the summer. We're focused not only on ramping up our paid advertising investments, but really deepening and scaling our organizing apparatus across the summer, working with partner organizations, tapping into their networks, their grassroots network, so that we can communicate directly with black voters in their communities. We understand that you cannot show up in September and October and just come ask for votes. You have to earn votes. That's what Joe Biden understands. That's what Kamala Harris understands. And that's the work that this campaign is doing. And I think
that's bullshit. They don't understand that, because if you really wanted to earn black people votes, then you would have created policies for black Americans.
I think, as you pointed out, that sustained organizing work stands in stark contrast to the outreach efforts, or lack thereof, that we see from the Trump campaign. They seem to think that you can shutter minority outreach centers and meanwhile hawk bootleg sneakers or tout your own mugshot as evidence that black voters should support you as far as their outreach effort goes. We know that that's bogus. We know that black voters know that to be an insult to their intelligence, and the way that you earn their support is by reminding them of what you have done for them, which is what this administration has done. No administration has done more for black voters than this administration, reminding them of the stakes in working to earn their vote. So that's what Philadelphia is about. That's what this entire summer is going to be about for this campaign. Really important.
Okay, so tell me, what policies has this administration done for Black Americans.
What you have done for them, which is what this administration has done. No administration has done more for Black voters than this administration.
Are you serious? You know how they say these things? No administration has done more for Black people than the Biden administration. That's bullshit. They never name what they've done. They never name the policies. They never name the initiatives, the grants, the funding. They never name it. They just say it. Oh, we've done a lot. What have you done? And then you're trying to say that, oh, well, Trump is trying to pander with the sneakers, blah, 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 blah. No, Trump is trying to pay his legal bills. We already know when Trump is in office, our money is going to grow. So he has a proven track record. Biden has a proven track record of giving Black people the middle finger. Biden is putting illegal migrants as a priority, not just over Black Americans, but of all Americans. But you keep saying this administration has done the most. What have they done? Roland Martin can't name it. This Black person, this Black man, or Al Sharpton, they can't name it. And if they do name something, that is something that is for all of Americans, not just Black Americans. So you have not earned the vote. You actually did the opposite. We are actually going to vote for the other side. Now, is this thing going around saying the couch 2024? If you sit your ass on the couch, I don't care who you are a loser. Because you need to get out there. If you're not going to vote for the presidency, you need to vote in your local elections, because that's very important. But speaking of pandering, this Black Voter Coalition campaign that they launched today that does not have a website, it says the campaign says Wednesday launch of Black Voters for Biden will be followed by events across the country with surrogates visiting the barbershops, attending block parties, and visiting churches through the weekend. That's pandering to Black people. Cookouts, barbershops, and church. That is the same 1-2 step formula that Democrats have been using. Now, I'm wondering why the Republicans are not taking advantage of that. So going forward, I want to focus on, when I do my podcast, the Republican Party and their Black voter outreach. And of course, I'm going to focus on the illegal migrants, right? But this Black Voter Coalition is nothing but a nothing burger. John Legend, again, trying to chime in and speak on behalf of Black men.
Georgia, it's going to help Tennessee, it's going to help a lot of these places. And so I think more people need to understand that that's what's happening, and that Joe Biden and a Democratic Senate and Congress passed these because some of Trump.
Let me know if y'all guys heard that.
Parties and how exciting it feels to like have other choices.
Yeah.
The bottom line is one of those two people is going to be president. And it's so abundantly clear to me that Joe Biden should be the president. When I decide between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, it's not even a conversation, not even close to me, what the moral right thing to do for the country and for the world. It's re-elect Joe Biden.
It appears that from the polls, from focus groups, from just talking to people, you see it in some election results over the last several years as well, that Biden is particularly struggling with some young voters, Black voters, Latino voters, particularly young Black males and young Latino males. So there's sort of there's a gender discrepancy here. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think Trump performs a form of masculinity that I think is attractive to some people, and to be clear, like black men, even an uptick for Trump is still a landslide for Biden.
For sure.
So black men are overwhelmingly, more than any other race of men, are supporting Joe Biden.
Very true.
But, you know, there is an uptick, and that uptick may be enough to win Wisconsin, or it may be enough to win Michigan, or wherever. And so, you know, it's an issue that the campaign's going to have to deal with.
The truth of the matter is two different black males. The alpha black males are going to be voting for Donald Trump. The beta black males, like Don Lemon, and whoever this guy is. There's two different types of black men. The beta black males will be voting for Joe Biden because they mama's boys. They do what mama say. Alpha males will be voting for Donald Trump because they are up for economic uplifting. We want to make money. We don't like handouts. Beta males like whining and crying for handouts. That's the difference between who's voting in this coming election, between the beta black males and the alpha black males. See, beta black males do what mama say. That's why most black women support Biden, because they hand out welfare, food stamps, and all kind of things that benefit the black woman to help raise a single family home without the father. So as the beta male is raised under the household without the father present, he does exactly what his mama tell him to. So if mama votes for Joe Biden, so does the beta black male. That's the difference.
And so, but I do think Trump performs a form of masculinity that is appealing to some men, black, white, Hispanic, you know, across the board. And
What form of masculinity, John Legend, does Trump display? Can we all just take a guess?
He wouldn't know because he's not masculine.
Do I have to say it? Let me just say this. The masculinity that he's referring to is the non-rainbow masculinity that people are so threatened with. They're threatened by it, especially if it's a non-rainbow masculine black man. That's supposed to be the new boogeyman.
And that may explain the uptick. And then, you know, I hear a lot of information and disinformation about the economy under Trump and what's happened since. And to be clear, like, the economy is doing quite well. We came back from a pandemic.
And that's a lie, because I can show you the economy right now. It says, you can't see it too well, but it says $3.39 a gallon. Okay. And if you use cash, it's $3.29 a gallon. That was $1.87 under Donald Trump. Mr. Lemon is lying here. He has enough money. He doesn't even pump his own gas. So when you make enough money, you don't even know what you're spending it on. A lot of people that I know who are black and ignorant, I ask them, do they know how much gas costs? Would you believe me when they say, no, I don't even look? You got to be a fool not to know how you spend your money. If you go into Walmart and you buy groceries and you don't even look at how much they cost, you're a fool. And that's how the Democrats play us. They know we don't pay attention to the particulars. How much shit costs. How much you're paying today versus yesterday. You got to be aware. That's how you make decisions in life. You just don't go out here willy-nilly spending your money, then you wonder where your money's going. You count your money. You know where your money's going. And if you're spending more money now than you did in the past, it's obvious that you should vote for Donald Trump. So this beta male, this Fruit Loop singer, doesn't know what he's talking about.
the unemployment rate is extremely low.
Yeah.
It's like crazily low.
The employment rate is extremely low because of the illegal immigrants coming up here into America working for lower wages. So the big corporate companies that run these fields of tomatoes and oranges, the guys that build these houses, they profit off of the cheap labor. So of course, the employment level is low for them, not us.
It's low among black people.
Yeah.
It's low
No, it's not. No, it's not.
among Hispanics, is low among the entire nation. And particularly because of some of the particular types of economic bills that Joe
What
Biden.
gets me is how Joe Biden can get blacks to speak for him because he can't speak for himself. Like Trump says, the man can barely put two words together. And if you take a teleprompter and his notes from him, he's a walking zombie.
President's passed, it's actually going to be quite helpful to men because of the manufacturing jobs that are coming back to the country, the construction infrastructure jobs that are coming back to the country. So if you are informed about that and you objectively are observing what's going on with the economy, you would say, actually,
You won't see his ass in the construction job. You can pull up to any construction job. You will not see a black person anywhere on the construction job wearing a yellow lime shirt, orange shirt, and what's the other colors? They wear the orange shirts, they wear the lime shirts at the construction zones, and none of them are never blacks. You pull up into a convenience store between 5 and 6 in the morning, they be in their little white vans with their little ladders on, and they go into the stores and they get all this water and all these burritos for breakfast, and they go to the land development areas, and they build homes, they build office sites, they build those small places, office suites and stuff like that. They build car washes, and if you look closer, none of them are black. So this guy is an industry plant for Joe Biden. He's paid for by Joe Biden, and he happens to be black.
Biden is really great for the economy, and he's great for men in the economy because he's bringing back the types of jobs that men often do. And so I think getting more education out there about what's going on with the economy and how helpful it's going to be that he passed the climate bill, which was called the IRA, but it was basically the most massive climate bill in the history of the United States and the history of the world, probably. All these things.
The IRA bill, which is called the Inflation Reduction Act, actually increased inflation. It puts a tax on your credit card transaction. Prior to the IRA bill, which he so calls it, the Inflation Reduction Act charges your credit card 26% of each transaction. So if you're using Cash App, Square, Zelle, anything dealing with a credit card, Joe Biden's getting a piece of that, and they call it inflation reduction.
Are like amazing accomplishments that I don't feel like he's getting any credit for, and I don't think people understand what kind of impact it's having and is.
We understand correctly because if you are an alpha male, whether you're black or white, you pay attention to where your money's coming out, how much money comes in your pocket versus how much comes out. It's simple math. 1 + 1 = 2. 1 - 1 = 0. So quit playing us for being stupid. Black men know how to operate computers. That's another insult. And we are aware now of how they buy blacks and put them in certain positions to keep the cattle in line.
Going to have. I know growing up in Ohio, so many of the jobs that my parents and their generation worked, and a lot of people might work in the future, are manufacturing. My dad was an auto worker, and the fact that there is such a boon in electric.
And he was a spoiled little mama's boy, attending little talent shows, singing like a little baby boy he is.
Vehicles and the batteries and all the things that go into making those, and that a lot of those are being made in the United States now. is going to really help Ohio.
Yeah.
It's going to help Georgia. It's going to help Tennessee.
Enough of this BS. That's exactly what this shit is, some BS. Oh, and listen, this is why entertainers should just shut up and sing. Athletes should just shut up and dribble. Entertainers need to just shut up and sing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just pulling whatever out his ass. Pulling it out his ass.
He sounded like putting it in there the way his wife.
It was another entertainer. I thought I saved it. I thought I saved crazy ass Robert De Niro clip. I did not.
I lost all my respect for Robert De Niro. Casino was the last good movie, and I gave him credit for it. But I really didn't know that he was a political ploy, a political phony, a washed-up actor, and a pedophile. Yeah. He was also on Epstein's Island, and he has a lot to lose once Trump gets back in the office because he was on the list. That's why Robert De Niro is fighting for Joe Biden, because he was on Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile list of celebrities who had sex with children.
And I think I'm going to save that for tomorrow's show because I'm over the 1 hour mark. Delusional De Niro. And yeah, I'll discuss that tomorrow. Listen, guys.
This is your boy Doug, 60 Gang. I'll be back later on when the sunlight comes up and we'll have some more discussion. Have a blessed morning. You guys have a safe Thursday. And I'm out.